Have you ever wondered what it takes to create a home like this? Or this? Or even this? Hi, I'm Parris, an interior designer in Toronto, and normally I'm designing dream homes for my clients. But this time around, I'm taking you behind the scenes of designing my family's dream home. We're talking the real, raw, unfiltered process, from the initial spark of inspiration to the final reveal. So, if you're curious about the ups and downs and everything in between that goes into creating spaces like these, then stick around, because this is episode 3 of Parris at Home, the McKenna Makeover. We are now back at my rental condo. We have this place for the next year while we are undergoing construction at the house. And this is where I'm starting to gather all of the samples for the materials that I've chosen so far. We're still waiting on a few samples to come in, but now I can really show you guys how each of the rooms are starting to come together, and really just this beautiful, bright, but still very fresh color palette that stays in line with PMD's overarching aesthetic of the West Coast inspired organic earth tone colors, and really just pushing our creative boundaries a little bit so that we can have some fun with this one. It's always exciting when I'm working on my own houses because I get to really do pretty much anything that I want and anything that I think might look good. And that gives such awesome results, and it's really how we love working with clients as well, is when we have that kind of creative freedom to be able to do some fun things. For me, I really like to think about places that inspire me to kind of kick off how I'm going to design a home. But more than that, I like to think about its surroundings. I really do think that it's important to honor the home's bones and the neighborhood and its surroundings. So for our personal home up north, it's surrounded by forest, it's surrounded by the lake. And so I really wanted to bring that feeling inside. It really evoked kind of a cozy, deep, moody sort of aesthetic, and that was represented in the finishes I chose. And for this particular home, the neighborhood has beautiful, stately houses. They're very traditional looking. They really look quite European in their aesthetic. And so I wanted to be able to give our home that same feeling of taking inspiration from what is outside and bringing that in. The home is a Tudor style. It would absolutely not read properly if you see it from the outside and walk in to find a completely modern space. So when you are thinking about how you're going to design a home or what you want it to look like, try and really think about places that you've been, traveling, books that you've read, magazines that you've seen, and the home itself to develop what could kick you off into a design plan. Pinterest is my best friend. We don't typically take Pinterest boards from our clients because they can be challenging to hone in on what it is that people are looking to achieve. But when you're designing your own home, if you're not bringing a designer in to help you with the process, the best thing to do is start looking through Pinterest. And as you're collecting things, try and find the common themes between all of the pictures. Do you notice that you gravitate towards one particular style, like farmhouse, or do you gravitate towards more traditional? Do you like things that are white and light, or do you like things that are deep and rich in textures and tones? And if you can find a common thread between what it is that you're sourcing for or what it is that you're looking for on Pinterest, that will help you to compile an overall design direction. We like to get examples of bathrooms, kitchens, fireplaces, staircases, exterior materials like siding, stone. What do you want the landscaping to look like? All of those different things. And from there, if you can pick a few images for each of those rooms as your final design direction, you can then source accordingly. So I'm gonna take you guys through the bathrooms for now. We've got most of the samples here. I'm also gonna show you a little bit about the kitchen, but we'll start with the powder room. So the powder room, we're gonna do something a little bit fun. We are gonna do a play on a checkerboard tile pattern, but we're gonna do it with 4 colors instead of the traditional 2. So we've got this blue color here, kind of a creamy color here. We're gonna do, it's called Ming Green as the 3rd option. And then we're gonna do a Carrera white as the 4th. So it's really going to play into kind of all these different colors, which I think is really fun, especially for a powder room where you have the ability to be a little bit more bold. It's usually a small space, and so it's somewhere that you can have a lot of fun. We're going to also use this wallpaper, which we also had considered originally for the pantry because I love that it had the olives on it. But ultimately, I loved it so much I wanted to put it on the walls in the powder room. Moving into the kitchen area, we looked at the paint colors on the wall at the new house. These are our beautiful slab options from Cava. We're gonna go take a look at the latest shipment of each of these so that we can tag the slabs that we actually want to purchase. You get to do that with natural stone so that you actually pick the exact one that you like, which is really exciting. And then of course, our beautiful vegetable inspired wallpaper and matching fabric. This is going to be in the pantry. And then we've got this cute little fabric that's gonna be just an 18-inch cafe curtain, but just something a little bit fun. This I fell in love with during my trip to the Cotswolds. It's by Bertioli by Time. So they create all of their prints and fabrics themselves. They also have a lot of them in the Time Hotel in the Cotswolds. And it's just so charming, and you can make like upholstery also out of the same wallpaper. So if you wanted to wallpaper an entire bedroom, you could have cushions on your bed that are made out of the same fabric. For the kids' bathroom, we are going to do a little bit of a tile pattern. So we're just using these 2.5 by 8-inch Centura tiles, and we are going to alternate with these 4x4 kind of like a greenish glossy tile. And that's gonna create a really cool pattern, which is going to go on all of the walls in the perimeter of the bathroom, including the tub and shower walls and the tub skirt. It's going to be very cute, but also something that is timeless and something that the kids can grow with. For the floor, we've got this hex and dot pattern. It is a mosaic, so that's gonna go across the entire floor. We're going with a dark green grout for this to really pull the contrast out of it. And we will make sure to seal this so that it stays white as much as possible over time. I was looking at both of these options for the powder room and also for the pantry. I was going to double them up in the powder room, and then I thought maybe I'll use this one or I'll use this one alone for the pantry. And ultimately, once I started collecting all of the materials, I started moving things around, and I decided that this one worked really well with the kids' bathroom, and this one worked really well with the powder room. These are tiles that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I think I beat out like 25 people on actually getting them. The woman told me that if I didn't pick them up that day, that she was able to sell them to somebody else for 4 times the price that she had listed them for. Who knows if that was true or not? I took it seriously enough that I drove 2.5 hours to go pick up 25 of these tiles. I got them for $200. I thought that was a steal, and I love them so much. They are hand-painted Spanish tiles. I don't have enough to do a full anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of intersperse these in the basement shower, and then I'm gonna go and select a similar tile size from one of our amazing suppliers so that I can have kind of the throughout color that these will be mixed in with. This is why sometimes I buy things on Facebook Marketplace without knowing exactly where they're going to go, because I do always find a home for them. And these I just think are so awesome. Each one is different. There's a different flower, there's a different pattern, super, super cute. Moving up to the 3rd floor bathroom, I am going to be using more Centura tiles from the same line that we're doing in the kids' bathroom, but these ones are different colors. So this one is a super pale green, and this one is a super pale blue. And together you can see just a little bit of variation. So we're gonna do a little bit of a pattern play here as well. One thing I really love to do is create unique patterns out of relatively simple tiles. It's a great way to infuse personality into a space without having to go crazy in terms of price per square foot for a tile. And then we are going to introduce a really soft floral wallpaper that's going to go again on the walls above the vanity, so where the tile cuts off. And this I thought was just really nice, soft, whimsical, and perfect for a timeless space. I had mentioned how I went on an amazing trip to the Cotswolds back in May, and it really reaffirmed my decision to go with this English-inspired aesthetic for this house. The house is Tudor style, so it already evokes that feeling anyways. But what I love about English style and the English aesthetic is if you have confidence in doing it, almost anything works. They mix and match patterns, colors, materials, textures, so many different things. And because they do it with confidence, it really feels like they can achieve pretty much any look that they are out there going for. There's a lot of maximalism, there's a lot of the traditional elements of things, and I really loved that idea for this house. Even though I do this every day for a living, I feel that it's never truly done until it's done, until things are actually getting installed. Even since the last time I was showing you guys about these samples, I have changed things. I have modified where they're going. I have switched up patterns. It's an iterative process. It is something that is constantly evolving. Until you place the orders, you can, maneuver things as you need to. And I think it's really important to see each of the materials in the space and really think about, how is this going to age? Is this something that's trendy now? Is it something that I've seen before in other cultures, in other countries? Is it something that will stand the test of time? It's very hard to know if something's going to be timeless forever. Most things go through like a 20-year cycle, so you really just hope for the best, but try and focus on things that make you happy and things that make you feel reflected in your home. That is the biggest importance of doing a design plan for your home. Do you feel that it reflects your personality, your aesthetic? And don't be afraid to try something. If you do it with confidence and you like it, that is all that matters. We have finished the architectural drawings. They have gone through the zoning process. We are in line for our hearing date of Committee of Adjustments at the end of August. While we're waiting for that, my team is working on the elevation drawings. We are almost complete, and those are necessary for our builders to be able to properly price out all of the work that the individual trades are going to do. So that package is looking amazing so far. We are just fine-tuning a couple of the details. And then next we move on to the budgeting. We should be pretty close to where things came in during the planning phase. We were really careful when going through the budgeting process to be realistic with our costs. We've done this enough times. I have done this enough times to go in conservatively, and hopefully that helps. Next time, we're going to have our building partner, Alair, on to chat about budgets and how ours is looking. I made the decision to move the stairs. They are executing my decision. Maybe we'll shift the blame to them.